Good afternoon, my name is Matt, and with who am I speaking? What's your name, young man? What's your first and last Chinese name?
Good afternoon. My name is Tianxiao Xu, and you can call me Michael. That's my English name.
Michael, that's your American name. And Michael, what is your current grade?
Well, I've been studying in 8th grade, and it's now my summer vacation, and next year I will be in 9th grade.
Right, so you're currently in 8th grade. You're going to go into 9th grade. And what grade you're going to be? Are you going to be applying to eventually?
I will be applying to 10th grade.
10th grade, so you are applying, we're talking about 1 year in advance.
Yeah, 1 year in advance.
Okay, you are definitely an early bird. I applaud that. Most other students will apply about 15 minutes before the deadline, so I'm glad to meet you, young fellow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Michael, what's your date of birth?
My date of birth is December 18th, 2000.
December 18th, 2000. And have you taken the SLEP, the TOEFL, or the SSAT?
I took the TOEFL and the SSAT, both of them.
What was your TOEFL score?
My TOEFL score was 101, and my SSAT score was 2,212.
Wow. So your TOEFL, basically what you're saying is your TOEFL score was better than my score.
Oh, well, I don't think you need to take TOEFL because it's as of English as a foreign language, and you are American.
Yeah, that's very true. I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Michael, let's start with the fun questions. Let's start with something kind of easy. What sort of extracurricular interests do you have at school?
Well, at school, well, there's a lot of them. Like, for the sports, I kind of play basketball with my classmates, and it's during the gym class also, and football when I was in China, and table tennis when I was in China, and tennis also. And I also went to gym and exercised with my whole family.
Oh.
That's sports. Yeah. And also, there's a lot of others, like I like reading Chinese books, American books, Russian books that's translated into Chinese or English, and other books also. And I like watching TV series, American ones and Chinese ones sometimes. And I like also learning new languages. I've already learned, you can tell I've learned English and Chinese, and I'm right now learning Russian and Spanish. And I can actually communicate simply in Russian, and for Spanish, I can actually greet you. And I also like to practice handwriting, especially in English and in Russian. And I also, well, that's basically that. And I also have other hobbies like playing pianos, percussion instruments, and that. And I'm a member of the school band also.
So you have approximately 325 hobbies.
Well, maybe more than that, and I couldn't list all of them.
How do you sleep?
I sleep very well.
You sleep well? What do you sleep for, like 10 minutes a day? Because I can't imagine.
I sleep 8 hours or more than that a day. At least 8 hours.
Wow. Okay. You just listed off a lot of activities and interests.
Yeah.
If I were going to put you on a deserted island and you could only choose one of those things, it would be...
Well, it would be one of those things.
That's right.
I suppose it would be learning new languages, but I do not have the books or things to do that.
No, I'll give you the books.
If I can make it, I'll do that.
I'll give you I'll give you an entire library of books. So you would say that maybe your biggest hobby there, or the one that you're most interested in, is studying languages?
New languages, that's right.
Why is that?
I'm interested in that. Well, as you can know, I've already learned kind of 4 languages maybe, or not actually 4 of them. And I know that by learning language, you get to know the culture and hobbies and custom of the people that speak that language. And it's really good. And when you learn a lot of languages, you can actually open your open your side and open your mind. And that you can learn a lot from the other people and their culture and custom.
Good answer. That's an excellent answer. I found that that is really the best reason to learn a language is the insight into a culture. And the language often...
Not the language itself, but what it was contained inside it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It often reflects the culture. Very good answer. So at school, those are extracurricular activities. But how about at school? What's something you like at school? A subject?
Oh, subjects. Well, I basically like most of the subjects, or nearly all of them. And my favorite one is life science. You study biology, chemistry, and physics in life science. And it's really challenging, I can say that.
Yeah. Why do you like life science so much?
Well, mostly because it's the most challenging subject I've ever seen in my first year and that year in America. Now it basically reminds me of the Chinese curriculum because actually, first of all, there's a lot of terminologies in biology, in physics, in chemistry that you learn in life science. So there's a lot of new words, and also you learn that things that I've never learned in China before. So I'm actually starting off learning English in English, and it's actually very challenging, not only because of that, but also the teacher is very strict and she'll ask you to write your questions in a very detailed essay and analysis. Otherwise, you will not be scored that high. Well,
Oh my gosh. Now wait a minute. So you say that life science is your favorite subject.
Yeah.
But what is your highest grade and your lowest grade in class in school right now?
Well, for all of the 4 quarters and all of them, well, my lowest grade is A, and my highest grade is A plus.
Oh my God, you're making me feel bad about my life. Please stop. Please stop.
Well, I'm Chinese and you're American.
Hey, now you hold on, young fella. You hold on there. Okay, well, I'm very happy actually to hear that. What's the low A in then? What's the one that you got an A in?
Well, the first quarter of life science. That's why I said it was challenging.
Got it. So you actually enjoy something, even though it may be kind of difficult. You look at it as a challenge and not as like a problem.
Yeah, and I finally overcame that challenge. I got an A plus at 103 on the last quarter of life science.
Wow. You are definitely making me feel bad about myself, but I will continue with the interview anyway. So how about this? Is there a subject that you don't like?
Not actually. I like all of them basically. Oh, it's good.
So
you got to learn new things and communicate with the teachers and the students and interact with them, and it's good.
So you're saying you actually enjoy the process of learning?
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay.
Especially learning with others instead of learning alone with the books and, well.
Can I ask you, do you feel that there is any difference between the process of learning in China and the process of learning here in the United States?
Yeah, there's quite a big difference. In China, the teacher teaches and you just listen and take notes and you do nothing more than that. And in America, well, it's actually the teacher is talking with the students and the student can talk with the teacher and they interact a lot.
So, which one do you enjoy more? And I think I know what you're going to say.
I enjoy more in that in America.
Ah. What do you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I know you enjoy it.
Very good. Yes.
It's good. Why? Tell me why that's good.
I think it is good because the students and the teachers can interact, and while the students can basically know the knowledge better because they may say it out actually in their own words, And for in China, you just recite knowledge points, and it's not that good. In America, you got to use it. You need to apply it.
Ah, that's a really good observation there. Well, let me shift gears here and ask you, we're talking about school, and we're talking about your hobbies, but I want to ask you, is there anything, and you mentioned that you like a challenge, but is there anything in your daily life since you got here in America that has been a challenge for you?
Yeah, I've had a very great challenge.
Yeah.
It's actually, I need to go back to China because it's summer vacation and I need to renew my visa. So I booked the flight tickets by myself online. Yes, and more than that, I fly from Tulsa, where I studied, to Charlotte, and Charlotte to New York, and New York, Moscow in Russia, and Moscow to Beijing, and Beijing to Shenyang. So I fly. There's 5 parts of that, and I booked the tickets from different websites and different flights, and I make them together. It's the biggest challenge, I think.
Wow. So wait a minute. So you purposely booked different. You used different websites to book different flights.
Yeah, different websites, different airlines, and different flights.
Can I ask why you did that?
Well, basically because that I want to save the money or make the trip better.
Did you spend
both of them?
Did you spend any time in those cities, or did you just do a quick layover?
Well, I spent time in the airports of those cities. Well, because in America I can get out of the airport, but in Russia I cannot because I do not have a visa.
Right.
I have to stay in the airport, and for 10 hours I waited there.
Oh, you were 10. So how long did the entire trip take from your door to door? How long did that take?
I think 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, 3 days.
So what did you do? Like, did you survive on airline food the entire time?
And I ate a lot of fast food in the airport, yes.
Oh my goodness. Like, that would be... I would go insane if I had to eat airline food and fast food for 3 days. But it was fun for you, or how did you feel when you're like halfway through the trip, where you're like, I made a mistake?
It's very good, and I feel proud of myself basically because I did it by myself. And I crossed basically 2 oceans and 3 continents and went back to China.
That's exciting. And did you manage to save some money when you did it?
Yeah, I actually booked the tickets, go there and back. 2 trips about around $1,000. $1,000.
All total, it was $1,000?
Yeah, you go to there and go back.
Right.
Totally, yes.
Round trip $1,000. Well, you know what? I'm actually planning a trip to Europe later. I was wondering if perhaps after this we could talk about you booking me some flights, because if you can get those great prices,
I can do that. Yes.
I think you could start like a little, travel agency.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right.
Well, speaking of that, tell me, do you have any idea of what you want to do in the future? Any ideas of, like, after you graduate high school? What about college, and what do you want to study, and what do you want to be?
Well, there's some vague idea. I'm not sure, but I will talk about that. First, I'm kind of interested in computer science. Well, maybe not that deep in that, but I'm just interested. Well, I think it's very good career because it can become, it's very useful. You can actually program the robots, and they are very useful right now in a lot of factories and where you build cars and the plants and everything. And especially they can maybe take place of some job that's very dangerous to man. So it's applied a lot, the robotics. Then the computer science and the programming will be very important for that. So that career is going to be very good, I suppose.
So you're interested in getting into robotics?
Yeah, that's right, one of them.
And I am going to guess, I think I know what college or university you want to go to. Do you have any idea? I'm going to guess. I might be wrong, but I want to hear you say it. Is there a particular school or university in the United States that you want to go to study robotics?
Well, I'm actually not sure about that.
Oh.
Well, because I didn't actually spend that much time considering about college. And right now, I'm in middle school, 8th grade, studying there.
Okay, that's a fair answer. I think from talking to you, I had forgotten that you're basically a young fella. I had just your demeanor and the way that you speak and your level of English strike me as being an older guys.
Well, thank you for that.
No, thank you. It's been really good to talk to you. But I was thinking, I recommend if you're interested in robotics, take a look at Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Oh, I've heard of that. MIT, right?
Yeah.
MIT, yeah.
Exactly. I think that you'll find that their robotics program, I think, in my opinion, they have one of the best programs. Well, I'd say the best program in the world, actually.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, but you know what? What's your second choice? Like you say robotics at first, but what's your second choice if you're going to do something else?
Well, something else, I think, maybe working as an interpreter. As I'm right now learning new languages and I may apply them, then I can be interpreter and translate languages. Because this job can be also competitive because the translators online, they can make a lot of mistakes, and I've seen them. So the people who can translate languages precisely and right is going to be very important.
I believe that's absolutely true, and particularly if you know something about the culture, it helps you translate from one language. If you know something about both cultures, you know how to translate from one to the other. Okay, well, last question before we start part 2. Tell me, what is something that you're going to contribute to the school? So right now an interviewer is, or I should say, an interviewer is watching your interview. Someone on the other side of this video, they're watching it, and they're wondering, what are you going to bring to their school? So what are you going to bring?
Well, I can say first, during I'm in the school, while I may attend some competitions, maybe they are about science, engineering, or mathematics, which I'm good at. So I may attend those competitions and maybe get some awards, probably, and bring fame to your school. And this is some of them when I'm in the school. And maybe after that, I graduate from your school. I can develop in the future and actually maybe got rich and got famous and something, and I will probably give money back to your school. I said you let me in your school for that time and educated me. Oh, that's basically that.
That is a very, very nice thing to do, I think, for former graduates. Yeah. Well, thank you for answering that and for putting up with my silliness for the last 15 minutes. I know I'm probably a little bit of a goofier interviewer than you're used to.
Oh,
but
you are good.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am going to send through the little text box. I'm going to send you a short excerpt to read to me out loud. So I would like you to please, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Right here.
It starts Jack London's story. If you could please read this short excerpt out loud in your best English voice. Afterward, I'm going to ask you a few questions about it, okay?
Yeah, I'll try that.
Give it a try.
Jack London's story, Call of the Wild, tells of Buck, a dog stolen from California who is taken to Alaska during the Klondike Gold Rush in the late 1890s. Buck becomes a sled dog, part of a team that transports supplies and people through the harsh winters. It was inevitable that the clash for leadership should come. Buck wanted it. He wanted it because it was his nature, because he had been gripped tight by that nameless, incomprehensible pride of the trail and chase. That pride which holds dog in the toil to the last gasp. which lures them to die joyfully in the harness, and breaks their hearts if they are cut out of the harness. This was the pride of Dave as Wild Dog, of Solex as he pulled with all his strength, the pride that laid hold of them at break of camp, transforming them from sore and silent brutes into straining, eager, ambitious creatures, the pride that spurred them on all day and dropped them at pitch of camp at night, letting them fall back into the gloomy unrest and discontent. This was the pride that bore up Fitz and made him thrash the sled dogs who blundered and shrieked in the chase or hid away at harness up time in morning. Likewise, it was the pride that made him fear Buck as a possible lead dog, and that was Buck's pride too.
Good job.
Thank you.
So, what is this about? Can you summarize what you just read?
It's about basically the story of dogs, as it's said there.
What kind of dogs?
Well, there's a sled dog whose name is Buck there.
Yeah.
And and it says that he's a possible leader dog. Well, that's recognized by other dogs probably. And also other dogs. There's a Wild Dog named as Dave. There, yes. And there's...
So, tell me, now the main dog is Buck, and there are some other dogs. But you say Buck is the leader. Is that true? Are you sure that Buck is the leader?
Well, I'm not sure, but it says on the second to last sentence that they may fear or they may think Buck as a possible lead dog.
Ah. So tell me, Buck has some trouble with the other dogs. Can you figure out what that trouble is?
Read it again.
Yeah, you can read it again if you'd like. Please take your time. What kind of trouble does he have? And it's related to what you said about being a leader.
Well, probably, as I can read that there's some pride of the dogs.
Yeah.
That maybe they may work together, but maybe they do not want to be led by another dog. And it's harness, because they would like to work in harness probably.
Well, yes. You're close. Basically they're fighting to become a leader. They're fighting to become a leader, and there's more than one dog that wants to be leader of the group, right? So they're sled dogs. And have you ever seen sled dogs, or do you know what sled dogs are?
Yeah, I know they would carry the sled things, and that's basically seen in Alaska, I think.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, I lived in Alaska for a couple of years, and it is actually, believe it or not, still a form of transportation up there even today. So,
well, it must be very cold, and there must be a lot of snow mountains.
Yeah, it is very cold, and there are a lot of mountains, that's for sure. Well, you know what? I think, Michael, you've actually done a really good job of giving us a feel for your personality and your interests and your skills and abilities. So I'm gonna end the recording.
Okay.